Hey everyone, you're here with Dr. Python JavaScript, also known as Dr. Full Stack. And what we have here is a situation that you'll get into on many software interviews. So I have a file here called subscribe to my channel or sub to my chan. Hope you subscribe to my YouTube by now. And you're going to get a software problem like this on the interview, maybe a little different. But granted, if they are going to have you do a technical challenge, this may be on it. So here we're going to say let string, and we'll set that equal to just some, I don't know, random amount of brackets, right? We'll have several of these, and let's say curly brackets, which are eluding me at this point, but okay, you get the point. Anyways, so let's say we have a situation like this, and this is pretty much how our IntelliSense works, by the way. But what you want to do is create a function that will return true if the pairs are balanced, or false if the pairs aren't balanced. And by the way, order does not matter. So basically you want an equal number of left parentheses and equal number of right parentheses, and the same with each of the tags. It doesn't matter where they are scattered, but you just want an equal number, right? Great. So how do we start this problem? Well, I'm going to show you a simple, powerful combo solution that should be able to help in situations like this. So let's just call function. We'll have something called function. We'll call it solution. And here, we're going to take in a parameter. We can call it S for the string. And in this situation, usually I like to turn my strings into arrays. So how do we do that? Well, I can say let array equal, and then I'll literally use a spread operator here. So dot 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 string. Okay, awesome. After this, I can now run a series of methods on this array. Let's just do a simple for loop, right? So we can say for, and I also want to declare a variable here. Let's create a variable called map. So let map, and it's just going to be an empty object. Great. So over here, you can say for. Usually, it's good practice to also define lengths outside of your loops. So we'll say let len equal array dot length, and at this point we should be good. See here. Great. Now after that, we can now utilize our for loop. So I'll bring that down a bit so that you can see. I'll say for let I equal 0. I'll say when I is less than, you can say len. And then at this point, I can say I plus plus. And then here, what do we want to do? Well, I want to go ahead and utilize this property. I can say array. Actually, let's say array. But we should actually do an if statement here. So we'll say if, and we're going to be looking at the array, right? So if that array and the index that we're on, so if that doesn't currently have a value of null, now where is this value of null? In that map, right? So I can literally say map. Now I'm referencing each of the keys in that array as a map key. And I'm gonna check to see if that has a value of undefined. Right? Because if it does have a value of undefined, then I want to go ahead and take this value and give it a value of 1. Now, what if it doesn't? Well, if it doesn't, then I just want to take that value. I should probably stay in that loop. I'm going to stay in that loop just to make things easier to see here. So I'll say, and of course, can't forget the else statement. Else, if that does have a value already, we're going to go ahead and increment that value. So how do we do that? I'll paste this again, and I'll say plus plus. At this point, what do we want to do after the for loop? Well, after the for loop, we're going to have map with the key values here and a bunch of numbers here. So what do I want to do at this point? Well, at this point, I want to create another condition. I'll say if, and here we can start using our actual values. So if map, and now we can actually pretend to have this value, right? So let's just start with this one. Okay. So we want this, which is going to have an actual value, and that value should equal the value of map in the opposite tag. Great. So these should have equal numbers, right? And we should do that for every situation. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, excellent. And already here. So and excellent. At this point, what do I want to run? So if this is true, return, or rather we can just console that log. This string has balanced tags. All right. So we can go ahead and do that, and then we'll return I don't really need to do that. I'm going to keep it at a minimum because we already have a lot of code here. So else So else, we'll go ahead and say what? Well, else we'll say console.log one of these tags one of the tags is not balanced. And we can say error. Let's put false here. All right. Maybe I could say true here. All right. So at this point, we can literally test this out. So I'll say, oh, one thing that could also save you a lot of time here is if you had if statement to see if this was even in the first place, because if it's odd, then you can immediately return. But we'll just go ahead and do this console.log. Or actually, pretty sure we could just run it because, yeah, let's just run it. So I'll say solution string. And at this point, I'm going to bring up the terminal. And let's say node sub to my channel. All right, sub to my channel. .js. Okay, so map right here, undefined. Okay, great. So at this point, let's see what happened here. All right, so our order of operation was a bit off here. One thing we have to remember is this. So one thing we have to remember is that this here you hadn't changed any of these, which definitely forgot to do. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and all right. So array is undefined. Now array is undefined here. String. Okay, so I've been using R instead of array. So let's just go ahead and change that here. And that should fix our problem. Okay, great. So one of the tags isn't balanced versus, yeah, something like, say this. True, string does have balance. So it's a pretty good solution, and sorry about the tinkering there, but sometimes you'll do that on the actual interview and it works out better because now they know that you can communicate with them. This is a powerful solution and you can use it in a myriad number of ways. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Dr. Python JavaScript. Talk to you guys soon.